Hey y'all, I'm your sis, Lisa K. Satchel, and I'm so excited to be here today talking to you because the last video I posted about my breast cancer journey, I think it really helped some people. The comments really brought me joy, and those of you who are going through this, who have been affected by me sharing my story, I feel like that's the point. Like that's the gist of it. That's why I wanted to share. So I'm thankful that it's touching people, helping people. And so we're going to continue that today. The journey is done, praise God. It was quite the journey though, so let's get into it. Quick little recap, if you missed the last video, it's linked somewhere here down below. I'll link it. But if you missed the last video, I was diagnosed with breast cancer in September of 2024. I had my double mastectomy in January 6th of 2025. And then in March, I got an infection. That was terrible. Had to get an emergency surgery, hated that, and thought I'd have 2 more surgeries to go after that to replace my implant that had to be taken out because of the infection, and then to get my final set of implants, and then I was going to be done. Spoiler alert, there was a plot twist. That is not exactly what happened. We had much more to the story. Okay, so boom. After March, we had some time to heal, and I was flat on one side, which was a very humbling experience. I had to wear a prosthetic boob. I actually don't know where it is. I would show it to you. But here's a video where I'll put over here somewhere a video where I did talk about it on vertical platforms. And so, yeah, I had a temporary boob. It was humbling. It was also weighted. It was a whole thing. Didn't love it. So then on July 11th, I had a surgery to put in my temporary spacer again. If you don't know, when you get double mastectomy, sometimes you can go into a period where you have spacers and temporary implants before they put in your final real implants. So I already had the one on the left because that one wasn't infected. So we put in the one on the right, and it went swimmingly. It went fine. There was no problems. All that went good. I did have a drain. So if you don't know, I talked about this last time. There's a JP drain, which is like, it collects lymphatic drainage and lymphatic fluid that comes out of your body. It's a whole thing. And it's a very humbling thing. Again, I wore a lot of baggy clothes. I literally had to go to a wedding. I wore the baggiest dress I've ever worn in my life because not everyone needed to see that. You know what I'm saying? That's a personal thing. But yeah, I went to a wedding and I kept it very low key. It was frustrating to me though, because I couldn't like get up and dance and have fun. But I did get to go to the wedding, and that was special, and that was good. So I was able to do still quite a lot, still quite a bit with it, but it was just not like ideal. It wasn't fun. So that was July 11th. I had that surgery. And then July 19th, I went to the wedding. Let's calm down. It was a week later. I don't want to make anyone think, next day you can be out here in these streets. If you have a drain in, tread lightly, go cautiously, listen to your doctors. I literally asked my doctor, can I go? And they said, take it easy. But yes, you can go. And thank God I didn't get another infection, anything like that. Replaced it, we're good to go. I said, okay, cool. So then October 24th comes, and I'm thinking this is my last surgery of my breast cancer journey. We're about to be done. October 24th, 2025 is it. We are done with breast cancer. I'm so excited. They get in there, they replace my implants with silicone implants, permanent ones. And I'm like, cool, I have my new boobs, let's go. Here's the thing though. I didn't realize, I knew during that surgery they were going to remove more skin on the left side, because my left side is where I had the invasive cancer, the non-invasive cancer, that was on the left side. My right side actually was all benign, but there were like masses there that were concerning, which is why I got the double mastectomy. But on the left side, they found more cancer cells in the skin and in the fat layer. So how it works with like when you get a double mastectomy is they remove all your breast tissue, but you still have a skin layer, a fat layer, and a muscle layer, and then they put the implant under there. So under the muscle. So I still had cancer cells in my skin and fat tissue layer. That didn't register to me until after the surgery on October 24th, when I was like, oh my God, they took out more cancer cells. I actually had cancer this entire time. So the last video I made, I was like, I'm cancer free. Technically, she wasn't. All of the masses were removed and all that, but there were still non-invasive cancer cells. Thing about non-invasive cancer cells, them things are tricky and sneaky because they can grow into invasive cancer cells and then tumors and masses and all that stuff. And that's not what we're here for. I also don't know if I mentioned this last time, but the type of cancer I had is ductal carcinoma. So it was mainly in my milk duct of my breast. So that's why I had to get everything removed. My nipples also removed. And like, it's sad because, she can't breastfeed. She can't, experience physical pleasure the same way that most women can. But I'm here. And that's all that matters. We're about to get into emotional stuff later. I'm getting ahead of myself. Anyways, October 24th, I thought I was done. Last surgery. Great. We lit. We had a little hiccup with, oh snap, I actually wasn't cancer free. But I am now, period. Real quick, something funny that happened that I wanted to mention. The first time I took a shower with my final implants, they were like making sloshing noises a little bit at the top. I Googled to see if it was all cool, and it was, and it stopped after that first few times, but it was funny to me. Also, didn't have any drains, period. We love not having drains. I hate those things. So we didn't have any drains, and everything healed great. Everything was going very swimmingly. Everything was going smooth. November 4th comes, and I go to a checkup with I'm about to go to a checkup with my plastic surgeon, and I get a call from my breast surgeon, and she basically tells me that there are still cancerous cells. I freaked out. I was so sad because I just wanted so badly to be done with everything. And I was like, okay, great. So I still have cancer. And she mentioned that removing those cells through surgery would be the best plan. Because it was still in the fat layer and the skin tissue layer. So removing those cells would be best because we didn't want to go into chemo. Chemo scares the mess out of me, and I'm so thankful that I didn't have to do it. But the concept of it was just a lot for me, and I was like, if this doesn't work, then we're going to have to go to chemo, and I really don't want to do that. Like, it was just so much weighing on me about oh no, I still have cancer. We've been doing this. We've been in these streets. I want to be done with this. And it was just really a desperate feeling. So November 4th, I go to my appointment, and my plastic surgeon is like, yeah, you need another surgery. I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. Fine. All well and good. We'll do what we have to do so that I can be healthy and live a long life. Because again, those non-invasive cancer cells can turn into invasive cancer cells and a lot of problems. And because I'm so young, that's the other thing. If I was 80 or 90, we probably wouldn't have gone back in for another surgery. But because I'm 30, it's a thing. We need to make sure this cancer does not come back, period. So we had to go in there and get them. January 23rd of 2026 comes, and that is when it is time to remove the cancer cells on the left side. We're not touching my implants though, thank God, because I really liked the way they looked. Right before the surgery, this is how I was looking. A month before. I loved the way my breasts look. I was like, period, we're in here. Just in time for us to get cut some more. And I'll be honest, my current fear, and generally a fear, was that one was going to look smaller than the other, and I'm still working through that because right now it looks that way because the left one is still settling after being adjusted. But it's cool. We're going to get there. We're going to get back to that picture that I really like, and I'm excited for that. But so yeah, spoiler alert to the ending. They went in there, took out the skin and the fat layer, and left me with the implants I had already had the entire time. And thank God they didn't have to change them out because I really did like where I was sitting at and size-wise. And so that was all well and good. Everything went smoothly. I will say that is the least painful surgery I had to get and the least complicated healing process, thank God. Because quite literally, I don't know how much more I could have taken, to be so honest with you. So I think God was like, that's enough. Calm down, everybody. Everything relax. And I'm thankful for that. So yeah, they didn't even go down the muscle layer. I'm going to tell you right now, when they get down to that muscle layer, I think that's where the real pain starts. Because yeah, it was painful, it was uncomfortable the first few days, and it took a minute, but nothing compares to a double mastectomy. I'm going to tell you right now, nothing compares to when they have to get down to that muscle layer. Pass. It's not ideal. I'm going to tell you right now, it's not ideal. But really, that's just an update about where things are at. And I will say the whole thing about me still having cancer cells after a double mastectomy is super rare. I just want to give you that moment of release that in case you have gotten a double mastectomy or you're going to get one and you're nervous, you're still going to have cancer. It's super rare. Literally, my doctor was like, there's something like a 50% chance, and then even lower than that, a lower percentage that even the second time they had to go back in. So this is not a norm. I want to give you peace and say this is not a norm, because I posted about on my Instagram that I needed another surgery, and a friend of mine reached out And she was like, I had a double mastectomy. I thought I was done. What do you mean? What happened? And I had to explain to her, like, like the fat layer, the skin layer, the whole thing. And I just want to let y'all know this is not common. So please, if you're going through this, I'm with you there, babe. Unfortunately, this is the road we had to take. But if you have had a double mastectomy, because all your breast tissue has been removed, in the name of Jesus, you're fine. Everything's cool. But just want to be realistic that this is what happened to me. And I'm glad my doctors were diligent and made sure that all the cancer was gone and made sure that we were safe and everything was good. So now we'll get into talking just like emotionally and spiritually what this has looked like. So the process of finding out that I was cancer free was kind of a thing. So I saw so when you have a test, like when they run tests on you, you'll probably see them before your doctor interprets them to you. I was gonna say interprets them to you. And so I saw that there were no cancer cells found in the skin and stuff that they took out. And I was like, okay. I was literally numb at that point because I was still recovering. And I was just like, oh, look, guys, I think we're done. And my family was like, oh, that's good, right? I was like, yeah. Like, I was so numb, which, like, to me, being numb is worse than being upset, worse than being happy. Like, it's just bad. Because I was in such a place of, like, I can't believe we are still going through this. And that was just my honest reaction. And then I went to a woman's, like, prayer brunch, excuse me. And I just heard God tell me, like, it's over, you're done. And I cried. I cried. Just a release of, like, what a journey this has been, and just being thankful that God kept me through all of this and that it wasn't worse. Like I said, I still have had no chemo or radiation, and that feels like the biggest thing to me, that, like, I was saved from that, and that the worst my cancer got was stage 1, when it could have been even worse than that with my own actions. Like, I was so thankful to God. So she cried a big cry of release. And then the final actual, you're done with cancer, came. And I was just, like, processing everything. I'm going to be so honest with y'all. I'm not sure if I've gotten to the point of, like, celebration. Now even talking about it, like, I can smile. I'm, like, getting happier about it. But, like, the processing part has been a thing. Because it's just like, what just happened to me? Like, what did I really just go through? And I'm in therapy about it. I'm praying through it. I'm working through it with God. I've realized so many things of me have been changed because of this. Like, my relationship with God has changed, I think, for the better. The way I show up for my friends, the way I realize my friends have shown up for me, the way I show up for my family, the way I'm realizing my family has shown up for me. Like, there's so much I am processing because of this that it's like, I need a second, babe. I plan on having, like, a celebration. And it's literally not until next month because she just needs a second. It was, like, logistically because of my, like, life and calendar, but also just, like, I think I'm still processing it. And as amazing as it is and what a gift it is, and I'm so excited, it's also just, like, I'm giving myself time to process everything that happened, because a lot happened, babe. A lot happened. Another big spiritual thing with me for this was trusting God's promise and trusting God's word, and that you heard him correctly. Because at the beginning of all this, God told me, you will need surgery, but you will not need chemo. And I was trusting that and leaning on that. And towards the end, she got a little scared. We had a close one. You know what I'm saying? If this last surgery hadn't worked, I don't know what would have been the next step. And I just was really believing it wouldn't be chemo, but I was so scared. And I'm just thankful that God was true to his word. He is faithful. Even when I wasn't. I will be so honest and say, especially once I realized I still had cancer, there were times where I'm like, I actually don't want to talk to you, God. Like, I have nothing to say. And it wasn't like I was disobeying him or, like, shunning him, but I was also like, I don't right now. I don't feel like praying. I don't feel like it. There were moments where I just didn't feel like talking to him. And so, I get emotional. I'm so thankful that he was faithful even in the seasons when I wasn't, and that he still loves me and is still showing up for me and still open to a relationship with me, even when I was like, I need space, you know? But I'm just so thankful. I'm just so thankful that he is who he is in the midst of me not even being the best that I should have been or can be. And even, like, just continuing to hold me, be there for me, even as I process all of this. Like, he's just so faithful and so good. So he's faithful to his word. He shows up for you. He loves you. He cares for you through all of it. And then there are even moments where I'm like, but he allowed this to happen. But it's like the same way it's happening is the same person who's keeping me through it. It's a very complicated thing in my head. Like I said, she's processing, and it's like, there's nothing he allowed me to go through that I couldn't handle. Even though when I first came up against it, I was like, I actually can't do this. I'm actually not interested. Like, I actually can't do this. Like, the way I've realized I've been able to show up for myself and show up in the midst of all of this, and even sharing and like letting it be a testimony is like the biggest flex to me. Like, I made it through this. Like, it showed me how strong I am, how fragile I am, all the things at one time. And I just thank God that I don't want to say I thank God that he chose me for this, because I would have rather not, but I'm thankful that he kept me through it and revealed things about me. It's still revealing things about me through it. So I take the victory, and I'm so thankful that he was fighting the battle and it wasn't me fighting the battle, you know? So now I feel very much in like a now what category of life. Like, we've gone through this, we've been through this. Now what? Really, I'm just trying to live my dreams. I'm trying to live my life to the fullest. I had a year and a half of having to put my health first and say, forget everything else. Now I'm choosing to put my health first. What are ways I can do that? What are ways I can show up in my health for myself and just continue to take care of the one body that I have, you know? And also, like, I've started choosing the scars I have. I'm not sure if this is the healthy coping mechanism. I'm going to be so for real. But I've gotten 2 tattoos. I got my second hole pierced in the midst of my situation. Literally, since being cancer-free, I actually haven't made any more permanent. Oh, that's a lie. I got permanent jewelry. I got an anklet, a permanent anklet. So kind of just choosing the permanent things I get to do and have on my body now, because I have scars I didn't ask for, you know. So now I'm choosing my scars, and that it's a coping mechanism. I already had tattoos, so it's not like a completely new thing, but the tattoos I got were like new concepts because of this journey. So I got a tattoo to honor my moment with the Jonas Brothers and also my love for New York. That one feels like the most reckless one, if I'm so for real and so honest, but I still like it. I still love it. I got a bow to honor. You can't really see it right now. I'll put up a picture. I got a bow just to honor like my breast cancer journey and remind myself how strong I am, but also like she's feminine, she's girly, period. And I love that. I plan on getting more piercings. I really just plan on living my life and continuing to move forward, showing up the way God has me showing up, having fun and doing the best I can every day to be a good example of his light, of his love, and all that good stuff. So you guys can keep following along. Life's going to keep on rolling. I'm going to keep moving forward. I'm going to keep sharing just different life things. And I hope this was helpful if you're in a journey or you're supporting someone through a journey with breast cancer. If you were just curious, hey, here's the tea. I hope you learned something new. And yeah, I love you guys. I appreciate you for watching. Bye.